It's awfully cool out here. But you know what's even cooler? The Student Station on Canton Community Television.
This program is brought to you by Canton Community Television, now from the television studios of Canton High School.
Welcome to the Dog Pound. I'm your host, Will Young, and today we are Brannan Vally, who will be talking about his soccer career. Thank you, Brannan, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Tell us how you started playing soccer.
When I was 3, I lived in Arlington, and I played soccer at like a local park with a ton of kids at my school.
Did any of your parents play soccer?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Take us through your soccer experience.
What do you mean?
You're like youth soccer, like what teams you played for.
So I first moved to Canton. I played town. I just played town. And then I switched to club maybe 2 years after when I was like 7. And then I played for a club called FCUSA that shut down because they lost all their coaches. And then I went to a club called Steel when I was maybe 11. And they weren't very good, so I left Steel. And then I went to Bolts, is where I play now.
What was your favorite club team you
Bolts.
played for?
Yeah.
Tell us about your club team, like the team you were on.
For Bolts, we have a very big team.
Tell us how your club made you better to make varsity.
My club team is very passive, so we pass the ball a ton. So I got comfortable on the ball when I was playing club, and then when I moved to high school, it was much easier just to pass around and play with people.
Do you have a lot of practices for club?
Yeah, every week or every day of the week.
Tell us about your varsity soccer tryout.
My tryout, we had to do a 2-mile, which I didn't have the best time for, but I think I made up for it with, we had to do a deck of cards where we do push-ups based off of the face of the card or the number of the card. I did pretty well on that, and then the scrimmages is probably where I did my best.
Did the coach say you did bad at anything?
Mm-mm.
Tell us about your high school soccer season.
At first, it was very, what's the word to say? It was very, it was kind of stressful because I started, but I wasn't comfortable with who I was playing with at first. So I got stressed out a lot being in a 3-back, and I was holding defense in place basically. But after season progressed, I got much better.
Do you get comfortable with did the lines change that you played with different people?
Yeah, and then we started a 3-back, which wasn't really going very well. So we made it a 4-back, so there's more people in the back, so more teammates to play the ball with.
Oh, that's cool. Describe how it was starting as a freshman on varsity.
It was also pretty stressful because a lot of the kids are more, they're older and more, they're more
Experienced,
yeah.
Were they bigger and stronger?
Yeah, definitely.
Explain your plans for next year.
Next year, the hope is to get on MLS next. Yeah, that's basically it.
What team is the MLS team you wanted to play for?
Bolts. It's the Bolts team. So I play ECRL right now, which is D3, but I want to move up to D1.
Explain your plans for next year. School, are you going to stay at Canton or are you going to go to a different school?
Nah, in January I'm going to private school called Brimmer in May. Yeah.
Where is it in?
It's in Newton.
Are you going to play soccer there?
Yeah, I play soccer in the fall, but then in the spring you can switch to club.
Is the soccer team good?
They're all right. They should be better next year because they have a ton of really good 8th graders that are going to be freshmen next year.
Why'd you want to go to that school?
because my dad works there.
Describe why you want to go somewhere else. Like, why do you want to go to a different school?
Because, well, it's easier, the commute's easier for my dad, because sometimes I have to go from Boston all the way to Canton at like 6 in the morning. And I go to the private school for a very big discount because my dad works there. And it's a better school, like with academics.
And you can get more recognized in soccer?
Yeah, basically.
Tell us about, what college would you want to play for when you get older?
Penn State. They have a really good soccer program.
Why Penn State?
Because they have a very good soccer program.
Yeah. What MLS team are you trying to make? Like, just Bolts or a different club team?
No, like.
Is there any other MLS teams you want to play? Like MLS youth, like.
Oh, I think Bolts is pretty good for my age group. So, for youth, I'd want to play Bolts. But if I do go pro, then I want to play when I start out for a New England Revolution, and then see where that takes me.
Is New England Revolution good?
Yeah. We were bad, and then we got good for like 2 seasons, and then we got bad again. So.
Are they good this year?
They're all right. They're in playoffs, I think. Oh no, season's already over. Yeah, they lost, but they got to playoffs. So.
Oh, that's good. Describe how you found out you have a chance on making MLS youth.
Last year, I started to try out with not try out. I did try out like a few times, but then I was practicing with them every Tuesday, I think it was, for a while. Oh. Yeah, so I practiced with them, and then the coach sent an email to my dad saying that I could play this year, but I would have very limited minutes, and my dad wanted me to play 1 year high school first to see how the transition goes, and then next year, then I would adjust.
How was the practices? Like, were they hard?
Yeah, it's very competitive, and coaches are a lot more stressed. Like, they're more strict on what you're doing. So if you mess up, they won't get mad like the first time, but if it's like consistent, then they'll start talking to you and stuff like that.
Did you ever get talked to about messing up?
The first 2 weeks when I was adjusting, yeah, I got talked to a good amount, but I got used to it, and then I got better.
Did you like the practices?
Yeah, the practices were fun. We just did possession drills a ton, passed around a lot. We didn't really do much, like, big field games. We just played small and, like,
Did you already, know some of the teammates before you went to practice with them?
Yeah, a few teammates on my ECRL team did the same thing that I was doing with MLS. My friend Ethan Fine, he's from Cohasset. He is on MLS now, but we both practiced together at the same time.
What position is he?
He's a striker.
What are you? What
I'm a
position
center
are you?
back. So a defender. It's like in the middle.
Oh. How good is the Bolts MLS team for youth?
I think it depends on the age group. Some of the age groups aren't very good, but some of them are like really good. 2010s are crazy. They're probably like one of the best teams in the country. But 2009, they're all right. They're like smack in the middle of the standings.
Is that your age group, 2009?
Yeah.
Are there any soccer players you look up to and do you want to play like?
I want to play like a guy named Sergio Ramos from Spain. He's a center back, and I think he's inspirational.
Why do you want to play like him?
Because we got like the same play style.
For MLS, how big of a chance do you think you have on making the MLS team for youth?
before, like last year, because they got a new coach. So last year, I was basically like 95% chance to be on the team. But now I'm not sure. So probably like maybe 75, maybe 60.
Do you have any like practices or tryouts to get to make it?
Yeah. There's like tryouts during the wintertime, like right after December break, they start having tryouts like outside, like Mount Ida.
What are the tryouts gonna be like?
It's a ton of kids from like all over Massachusetts. Some kids that just moved, looking for a new club. Yeah.
There are a lot of kids that try out.
Yeah, probably over like 120 kids.
That's good. Do you know what do you do like the same thing every time for tryouts or?
Usually.
For like your school, how many are you like allowed to like leave halfway and play MLS?
Yeah.
Oh. Are they in different seasons?
Yes, but for the new school, you have to do 2 sports, one in the fall and then one in either the winter or the spring. But I won't have to do the one in the spring because if I do club, I can like split it.
What are you doing in the winter?
Nothing. You just have to do 2. So
So like the
So
club
club
just
soccer, it'll
counts
count.
as it?
Yeah.
Oh. Wait, so your dad is the principal. Does that do you get any thing from your dad being the principal?
Not really.
Oh. All right. Thank you, Brennan. We enjoyed learning about your soccer career for Canton Community Television. I'm your host, Will Young. Thank you for watching. So bad.
Our crew today is Will, David, Chloe, Andrew, Nick, Kyle, Dylan, Amira, Arenza, Eva, Riddy, Carly, Lucas. This program was brought to you by the student station on Canton Community Television.
You're watching the student station on Canton Community Television, the Comcast 6, and Verizon 41, or on Verizon HD 2143 and Comcast HD 1073. To CantonCommunityTV.org.
This program is brought to you by Canton Community Television, now from the studio stations of Canton High School.
Cheese. Welcome to the Dog Pound. I'm your host, Connolly. Today we have Aiden O'Toole, a Canton High 3-sport athlete. Aiden, welcome to the show.
Hi, Cameron. How are you?
I'm doing good today, Aiden.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Tell us about the sports you play.
So, probably the first and most oldest one is probably baseball. You know, I started that off pretty early. Then came hockey. Then started playing golf pretty recently.
You know, golf's a fall sport, so we'll start off with golf first. What is something you enjoy about golf?
The golf season was honestly just perfect. There's not enough words to describe it. The team dinners, the matches, and just the people and environment around the community of golf. It was really fun and enjoyed every second I played.
You know, that just sounds awesome, and I'd really love to join the golf team next year, so.
I would love to see you there.
And I hope you're a captain.
Not true. I don't think you'd be making the captain spot. We have 2 pretty solid players.
I was talking about you. Since you'll be like a senior.
Yes, but the 2 captains that are better than me are probably going to be the captains, and they're seniors.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll be seniors next year, along with me.
So you also said you like hockey, so what is something you like about hockey?
Hockey, honestly, just the grind of it, just being able to go out there and release your frustration on anybody you see. It's really
So this season you played for the midgets, I heard it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I made my midget appearance a few games. It was a really fun time.
I heard you guys are the champions, right?
We actually lost the championship to Dorchester, but it was a good run. We played well. It's a pretty bad team. Kids on it We're just kind of out there. They're not very good. Pretty bad.
Let's not say that. Everyone was good on that team. What is something you like about baseball and why?
Baseball, honestly, just the simplicity of it, really. Like, being able to just, like, catch a ball in the glove and just throw it to your friend. And, like, make plays, work as a team. And honestly, just, like, people think it's not very team sport, but it really is. And you have to work together and you have to rely on your teammates, really, which is how it's such a big team sport.
Now, if I remember, you had a brutal knee injury last year. Were you able to play baseball last season for Canton High?
Yes, I did have a brutal knee injury, and it prevented me from trying out, but I was able to join the JV Dogs and, started there. It was a pretty fun season, Coach Big John was an amazing guy to be around and brought a lot of energy and, spirit to the team. And the JV Dogs, though we're not, the best, it was a very good season, and we competed very well.
Any Grand Slams?
No, almost though.
Tell us about who your favorite golfer of all time is and why.
My favorite golfer of all time is probably be Arnold Palmer,
I thought that was a drink.
Yeah. That is actually where it came from, is that he started his own brand, and that is where the drink came from. But that's mostly why he's my favorite golfer. And just overall, he was a very good golfer, in it itself, but, he really, his name, really means a lot off the links as well. So that's why, he's my favorite. But favorite or, personal best golfers probably going to be Tiger Woods.
All right. No, love it.
Woodsy.
Tell us who your favorite hockey player is and why.
My favorite hockey player? Probably Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr, number 4.
Yes, sir. He was actually a Bruin as well, so that definitely adds some bonus points. I started out my hockey career wearing number 4. It's probably some more bonus points for that. And I just really like, him. He was a very good defenseman and really changed the game. He was one of the first defensemen who really played offensively on the ice, and that contributes to a lot in today's game.
That's terrific. So back to golf. Tell us your favorite golf course you've ever played at.
My favorite golf course is probably going to be the Ocean Course in South Carolina. Very nice course.
What golf course are you a member of?
Blue Hills Country Club in Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm a member there too. Very good food.
Very, very good food. The hot dogs there are phenomenal. The golf is even better. The memories, unforgettable.
Back to hockey. Tell us why you started the sport of hockey. Who got you into it, and why are you still playing to this day?
So honestly, I still have memories of my dad just throwing me out on the ice and learning to skate with a crate. And honestly, I enjoyed that. I liked my crate. And eventually, I graduated from my crate, and he put a stick in my hands. And the rest is history.
The rest is history. But that brutal knee injury prevented you from tryouts. Prevented you from tryouts this year, but I hope to see you next year.
I hope to see me next year as well. But yes, the knee injury has been a lot worse than anticipated, and has currently been almost a year and 2 months since the incident, and still not back to 100%.
So we talk about your favorite hockey and golf player, but baseball. Who's it got to be?
The great Bambino.
Who's the great Bambino?
The great Bambino is Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth is kind of an older player, but Hall of Famer, and definitely changed the game as we know it. He was a pitcher for both the Red Sox and the New York Yankees. We all know him, ancient rivalry. But he was a very good baseball player. Really liked him. He had a lot of swag with him. Always had a nice stogie in his mouth at the plate, pitching everywhere.
Do you own a great Bambino jersey?
No, I currently do not have a great Bambino jersey, but I am in the workings of getting one.
Okay, we are now in hockey.
We are?
We're going back to it.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. I gotta ask you what your favorite position is in hockey.
My favorite position is probably the one I play is defense, because Well, for a few reasons. I always kind of like defense, like how you're like defending your goalie, you're playing for your team and not just like trying to score goals. But you can also score goals as a defenseman, if you have a nice shot on the blue line, anything like that. But also, you got to hit people a lot. You put yourself in those positions and you're down the corners getting scrappy. I like it.
So you've never played like goalie?
I actually did play goalie for a little bit. I was probably about 11 or 12.
So it didn't work out.
No, it did not work out. My goalie career came to an end pretty shortly. Mostly skill level, but
Skill level, I'm gonna go with.
yeah, and unenjoyability.
Back to Kit and youth hockey. I remember me and you used to be on the same team. We played in a couple tournaments together. What was your favorite tournament you've ever played in?
I have to say, it might have to be the Lake Placid tournament. Honestly, not just the hockey, the place, and the memories, and just like the history of the place we were in, and honestly, just the activities. There was so much to do. We did a lot, and the place and hockey itself was just magical. Like the Lake Placid was actually where the Olympics happened, where USA beat the Soviets, and we played in the same rink. You could see all the memories and like events from what happened, and it was just a really cool place to be and like be there.
So you wouldn't say your favorite tournament's the Barnstable tournament? Because that's always a good one, getting kicked out of the hotel a couple times, team dinners.
Yeah.
All right. That was always my favorite tournament,
Yeah, no, the Barney tourney, it was always a nice one.
The Barney tourney was a barn burner.
The Barney tourney was forever, a core memory for me. I will always remember it. It's nothing like too extravagant, but that's what a good tournament is. Just like nice with the boys, people and just making good memories. Just running up and ding dong ditching people, all going in the pool at once. That kind of stuff. Hockey tournaments.
This next question's a bit of a tricky one. Tell us about the best hockey player you've ever played with or against. But I'm gonna go with.
The best hockey player I've ever played with? This is probably not true, but someone who I've seen do very good in hockey is a goalie. Now, his name is Colin Davis. Now, Colin Davis is a former player of Canton High School, as we all know. Helped us get our, championship win last year and brought us to the championship the year before. He currently is at Dexter, doing amazing things. I believe they have I don't know their record, but I know they're doing good. I know they're on the positive side, and he's doing great things there, and I can see a lot in store for his future with hockey.
Yeah, show Colin Davis, future NFL draft pick. Just remember that.
NHL draft pick.
Did I say NFL?
You did.
And then NHL.
That's what I said it for you.
This next question's a very good one, and I hope you enjoy it.
Is it?
Describe your best hockey memory.
My best hockey memory, honestly, this is going to come to a surprise because it's not like a normal hockey memory. But for most of the Canton youth hockey players out there, you know of the Gillette rink. And we would occasionally host practices out there. And it was pretty fun because, you're skating outside, you were right next to Gillette Stadium. At the time, you're like, oh my God, Tom Brady, he's plays over there. But, so we had a practice out there one time, and there was a kid who I disliked very much on the ice. Me and him never got along. It was just we just didn't like each other.
Who's that?
I honestly don't know his name. I remember his face, though. And one time, we were doing, sprints and, line-up and warm-ups on the ice, and he was skating backwards and didn't see me, and I was also skating. And he flipped over me, and he landed on his back. He got hurt. He started crying. That's probably my favorite hockey memory.
Man, I remember Gillette Stadium's ice rink. Travis Thomas hit me in the head with a hockey puck. Hurt really bad.
Oh yeah, pucks to the Tugan are never good.
Yeah. So, I know that you played for the Boston Junior Huskies out of the Canton Ice House for a couple years, and I know you and your brother also, well, your brother did too.
Yes.
Tell me about that experience.
Honestly, the boys out there are all beauties. They're all sweet. My coaches were also like in their like 20, so it's a pretty young, very young team, very exciting. We had a lot to do and a lot to prove. We went out there every game, competed our hardest, did a lot, and just, I don't know, I can't really speak for my brother, but I know his team did well, and a lot of kids on that team are now on other teams, and same with my brother. He's no longer with the Boston Junior Huskies. I'm hoping to make a return next season, but who knows?
So I know you're a ex-Severian Brothers High School
Indeed.
student. I want to ask you a question. What's the difference between Canton baseball and Severian baseball?
Dingers. There's a lot more dingers. Kids can hit the ball a lot more, and it's home runs were like very common thing, and you could just the skill level and like pace of the game, especially the pitchers. The pitchers were throwing like 80, 85. They were throwing it in the kitchen, pretty hot, and it was just you can definitely see the skill level difference, and just like especially in the individual players.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. Thank you, Aiden, for being on our show, and best wishes to you and your team for a great baseball season. I hope your injury becomes 100. For Canton Community Television, I'm Cam Connolly. Thanks for watching.
The crew members for today's show are Cameron Conley, Nevada Rosa, Nick Dietrich, Josiah Falk, Brady Hart, Joe Sullivan, Aiden O'Toole, Jacob Richmond, Nicholas Ruggieri, Joey Ryan, Ben Stark, Sean Sullivan, Stiles, Cameron Washburn, Jerome Weeks, Brady Bell, Riley Blake, and Luca Burns. This is Canton Community Television. Thank you for watching.
You come to work and you do not know what you're going to come across. Every day is different. Every day is unique. Every day can be a new challenge and a new circumstance and a new problem to overcome.
I think the hardest things about being a firefighter are seeing people when they're having a bad day. So, generally people call when there's some type of an emergency, and a lot of times you have to deal with people who are really badly hurt or very sick. We deal with kids who can be sick or hurt, people who are in fires. So those are tough things to see day in and day out. But the good news is that when you help somebody feel better, get better, then that's kind of why we do the job we do.
Be responsible. You have a license and you have a great responsibility, not only for yourself to get yourself home for you, your parents, and your family, but also for the other members on the roadway. Don't text and drive. Don't distract yourself from what you're trying to do. There's a lot of other distractions out there on the roadway as it is, and to add texting to that matrix of problems out there is just going to cause some problems for everybody.